What is boondocking?
You don't have any power.
You don't have power? What else do you not have?
You don't have sewer.
Yeah, we don't have sewer. What else?
Not water.
Yeah. So what are the good and fun things about boondocking?
Pain. Flooding. And some boondocking stays in middle of nowhere. That's what I like.
That's what you like? All right. What's your favorite, Bubba?
Mickey Mouse the Clubhouse.
Mickey Mouse the Clubhouse? All right. We had a 3,000 square foot house and all of the things, yet we always found ourselves looking for more. We love being outside, we love adventuring, and every time we went someplace we never wanted to come home. We are just your average family living not your everyday life. Andrew, Janelle, Corbin, and Wyatt. We are the Hoopers. This is our journey of building our home. We are setting up camp out here. We're on a horse ranch. We're going to be boondocking for the next 2 weeks. Getting the perfect view. We wanted to be able to open our door and see this amazing mountain range here. We chose to be in the wide open so I could have a nice view of the kids. They said they've had some cougars running around, so you can do that.
So the right's a little bit lower.
Is this an auto level system?
Lippert auto level system. So what we're doing here is just trying to see how far off we are before we drop the jacks. We're 0.2 from front to back degrees off, and then left to right is 0.6. So we're going to need blocks on our right side. I typically say half a degree is a block, and so we're going to use the one block under the right side under each wheel. So we'll do that next. All right, so Mama's getting the blocks out. This is the first thing we want to do always is get the blocks out, get level, and make sure we start our trip for success. So we got a whole bunch of these blocks. We got them on Amazon. Lynx levelers, just your standard RV block. We've looked at the snap pads, but I don't know. We feel like we use these more.
One under each.
One under each on the other side. So we'll come over here. She's going to put one in front of one tire, one in front of the other tire, and then I'll pull up. Alrighty, so now we got the camper level from side to side. We'll let the auto lift do the rest of it. Walk around this side of the truck. Alrighty, so we kind of check in here, so you can see it shows that there's no red marks there. So we're pretty level for that part, and then you can go up here and scroll down. We're 0 degrees side to side, so perfectly level. Front to back is 0.2, but the leveling system will automatically adjust that. Whereas side to side, it'll adjust it as well, but we try to get it as close as we can first to put less pressure on the jacks. So now what we'll do is we'll go around and throw, probably because of how high we are, we'll probably just put one under each pad all the way around the rig. We always start with the front first. The reason we do the front first is so I can start taking the weight off the truck, move the truck out of the way to begin the auto level process. So I'll go up here, scroll down, I go to manual mode, and then I press the front because I want the front to go down. If you wanted to come up, you put retract. In this case, we'll just do front down. Do the same thing on the other side. And then what I'll look for over here is once it starts taking weight off the truck. Just picking the truck up a little. And then when I can see that it's picked up some of the weight off of the fifth wheel hitch, then I'll do that. So now I'm putting the tailgate down. Always watch your clearances on your tailgate. Depending on if you have a long bed, a short bed truck, a slider hitch, any of that stuff, if you put it down, you could end up puncturing the side. And always, obviously, whenever you leave, make sure you put it back up, because if you take off and you turn with it down, it will rip up this side. So, come over here, and I'll disconnect the emergency brake cable. I will pull the pin. I didn't chock the tires in this particular case just because the rig's already level. I don't believe it's going to move. Go over here, pull all this, and then what I do is always just roll it off the back, make sure everything's out of the way, so whenever I pull forward we won't hit anything. So now I'll come right here, I'll release, and then I'll get in the truck and move it forward. Alright, clear up the truck. Roll these cables up, get them out of the way. I don't like them on the ground. This is an electrical connection right here, so you don't want to get water in it. And now we're to the point where we'll let the rig do most of its stuff. Auto level. Press it twice, and then it goes after it. It always starts with the front first, gets it level front to back. It'll throw the rest of the jacks down, doesn't put a lot of pressure on them, and then it'll level the right side, pick it up, does the same thing to the left side, and then it'll do a final adjustment on front to back, just to make sure everything's good. So within, I don't know, 45 seconds, a minute maybe, it'll be done. So you can see it's picking up this side of the rig. If she goes the other side, it'll pick up the other side as well. Now it's lifted up the front again. Let's do a final level. And then over here it'll beep again. So you probably didn't hear that, but once it's done leveling, it'll beep and say unit is leveled. You can turn off that system, or it'll automatically turn off itself. So I just turned it off. Next part's the slides. So to do the slides, we have to actually go inside. We have an on-command system or an in-command system. It's an electronic system, but it disables all slide movements once you hook it up to a truck. So now that we've unhooked it from the truck, we have to go inside and click unlock, travel unlock, to be able to unlock that part of the system to allow the slides to come out. So that's where you come in and you go inside.
Yes, sir. And then you can see the board right here. Right here, it says travel unlock. So this is what we have to unlock. You just press unlock, and then it allows you to be able to have movement of everything. So we always travel. We cannot get in this part of the slide, but I can kind of put my hand around and give you all a good view of what it looks like with the slides closed.
I travel with these off. It's basically a check valve that helps keep the slides in. So we'll turn those back on now.
Normally we use the in-command app on his phone to get all the slides open, but he's using the phone for the drone, so we are gonna use the actual panel.
Right, so we'll go down here. We'll do the hydraulic slides first. And just press out. So this is a GoPower Solar 120 watt portable solar kit. It's actually 130 watt, but they just marketed it as 120. Get your little handle. I'll move this out of the way. Alright, so after you unbox it, set it out, we'll face the sun. Obviously there's a cloud in the way right now, but it's partly cloudy, so we'll still soak up some sun today. I have it connected over here, which I did do the battery, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But plug it in there. And same thing on the back. Plug it on the back, it'll light up to say that it's working. So 12.5 volts, 12.6. Again, right now it's in the sun. So we'll just maybe hold it right here while the cloud moves out of the way. And you'll see it change dramatically. So it's putting in 1.3 amps and 12.7 volts. Give it a little bit longer.
There's that cloud. It's moving pretty quick though.
Thirteen, 13.1, 2, 3. So the sun's back out. We were at 1.7 amps. Now we're at 7.8. So and it'll continue to adjust as the sun moves in and out of clouds. But overall, it's charging the batteries. We should not have to run the generator and be able to run everything we need except the microwave and air conditioner, which the weather is beautiful out here. We shouldn't need to run the air conditioner. So now that's done. That's our phase one of Boondock camper setup. We get the solar on, so we're charging batteries. That way, anything else that's going on inside, we're not drawing off the batteries, and we soak up as much sun as we can. Obviously, we're a little bit further north, so we get more sun. I think the sun rises at 5:30 and sets at 9:30 or 9:45. So plenty of sun. All right, so GoPower. Again, this is the 120 watt portable solar kit. I think they have a smaller solar kit as well as a whole rooftop system, full 500-600 watt, however many you want to put on top of there. They're based out of Canada. We may actually go visit them on the way back. I think they're around Vancouver area. But we partnered with them. It's a great product, no issues. We've used it many times. Again, as long as the sun's out, it keeps everything charged, the batteries to do lights, the water pump. I have also an inverter that is a GoPower branded inverter. So when I'm working during the week, it'll keep my laptop and internet and the monitor and all that stuff charged in there. It's right over here, and again, that's what the other half of this wire is. So you got the wire that's coming out of the camper, and this is a mess down here because I got hydraulic stuff in here too. But here's our two batteries. The cord that this plugged into is this one right here. That's the cord that I have the power plugged into outside. It's on each one of the batteries. And then from there, we have a 1500 watt GoPower inverter. So there's a couple different ways you can wire inverters. I chose this way, one for ease for me of how I use the product. But you can hardwire this inverter directly into your power bank, and so it'll automatically keep the power charged. You can turn it on and off whenever you want. GoPower has a remote switch per se. It runs off of I think it's an RJ45 telephone connector. But it'll power everything you have inside. What I do, just because of how we use it, I use it for outside and inside and all sorts of stuff. I just plug an extension cord directly into this inverter and just go plug it into the shore power of the back. The reason I do that is because most of the times when people wire their inverters to their camper, I say most of the times, I may be incorrect, but I've seen it where when they wire it into their connector on a 50 amp camper like ours, they're only powering 1/2 of the breaker box at a time. And so you may have to move stuff around, or you may not have power to some things you need to. Whereas when I just plug an extension cord into here and run it into my shore power that's built into the camper, my whole breaker panel's live. I can use any of those outlets at any time I want, as long as I stay within the 1500 watt, spec of this rig. I think it's got a boost to maybe 2000 watts for a short period of time. Again, we'll pull the specs up online. But got this solar panel, inverter, and we're good. Runs everything we need to. So we have, from a boondocking perspective, a few backups. We ordered the camper with this bad boy. It's an Onan 5500 watt LP generator. So we can start it from in here, we can start it from inside, or I can start it from my phone app. But this will power microwave, air conditioner, pretty much anything you need to do. If you wanted to start it out here just to show you, you'll prime it till it flashes, and then up. You give it about a minute and a half for our surge protector that's built into the camper that I hardwired. Wait for that to kick in just to make sure all the power's good and even, and then you'll be up and running. Our third power supply, hey buddy, our third power supply is a Honda 2200 watt generator in the back of the truck. I actually like to use this more than I like to use the big one now that we've gotten this one. The reason is it's a lot more efficient, it's a lot quieter, and it just stays in the back of the truck. I've got on either side of the truck, I've got 5-gallon gas cans, so one here and one over there. It barely uses any gas, so this will last us a long time. This is the, we call it companion. So you can actually hook two of these together and get 30 amps. So we'll take it to the back and get it set up. All you gotta do is turn it to on, make sure your fuel's on the top. It actually has fuel in it, which I think it's got fuel in it. And then, choke. And then, once it's running, take it off choke. It'll run at high speed, or it's got this button in the front, eco throttle. It basically adjusts the RPMs for the power need that you actually need. So if I hit this, it gets real quiet because we're not using any power. And as you use power, it'll automatically increase the RPMs to increase the power output. So, great model. So, we'll plug it in here. I'm gonna go get the connectors and I'll show you what we do to finish that setup. All right, so now we got our generator set up here. Open this compartment. This is our power cord reel. It's pretty nice, part of the legacy edition of the Montana. So I'll press that out, get the cord. We'll put a dog bone connector from a 50 amp to a 30 amp on here. And then this is the special twist lock connector that comes with the generator. So we'll plug it in like that. And then right here is we'll lock it and turn it. Didn't take much of a turn. And then we're set up. All you gotta do is start it. Wait again another minute and a half or 2 minutes for the hardwired power surge protector to kick in, recognize good power, and you get TV and microwave, whatever else you need. When we were around last time, we were having some issues with the propane tanks banging around a lot. I've seen people use milk cartons. We use some bungee cords, but over time the elastic bands and the bungee cords start to break. Found this at a RV store. Looks like a Christmas tree holder type deal. Set the propane tank in there. You push these up to make it tight and keeps them upright. So we've traveled with them for quite a while now and have had no issues. They've held up and kept our tanks upright. I like to lock my tanks. It's just something that I do. You never know when someone might want to walk off with somebody. Anyway. So, we've got 2 empty propane tanks. Refrigerator told us that. And the generator wouldn't start. So now, we'll grab both of these. Put that back where it goes. Now we got the propane tank. So what I was saying earlier about those, making sure that it shows red, so that means both the tanks are empty. So I'll turn the propane off. Unscrew it. Pop these off, and you can tell the sound. And obviously the weight. This one's real light. This one's not. So put the tank back in there and hook it up. I'd turn it, adjust it a little bit, make sure that this cable in the back's out of the way. And then pop the bottoms. And then so when I turn this on, so if I look at this, so this shows red. When I slowly turn this valve on, it just changed to green for gas and good and great and go and whatever else you want it to be. Again, I'll leave mine in the middle because I pull off of both tanks since we have spares. So the last thing we use for boondocking is a bladder. So we can carry 60 gallons or so on board, and then whenever we're out here for an extended period of time, like now we're out here for 2 weeks, we're going to need water because we'll still take military showers and wash dishes, that type of stuff, and plus the toilet. We have this bladder bag. So it's 60 gallons. It goes in the bed of my truck. We'll fill it up. We'll fill it up today, actually. We'll fill it up, and then I have a 12-volt transfer pump that'll pump it right back into the camper, just like you were hooking up into city water. So whenever we get this bag filled and everything, we'll show y'all how that works.
I got my little man here helping me fill up our bladder today, huh? So we just hook a regular old hose up to the intake line, and then we're over here and hook it up to the potable water, and we are going to fill it up. So this one's a little different. It just has, you have to manually turn it, so it takes a little bit while longer.
Alright, so boondocking 101. We still got to fill up the water in the camper. We're almost out. My wife went and filled up today. Looks like she filled it up about 70% of the way. It can hold a little more, but that's okay. Alrighty. So to do that, we don't have the generator running right now. You can run it off the generator. I can run it off the truck, or in this case, we're going to run the pump off of the inverter. So we got our solar power, GoPower Solar panel going. It's getting a little last sun of the day. We got about 13 volts going into it, and I'm going to hook it up to our inverter, which is in here. Flip it on. Now that plug is live, I will grab the pump that we keep in here. So we use this pump. I bought it, I believe, at Tractor Supply. It's a 115 volt pump. They do make 12 volt versions as well, but I don't know, I just chose this one. No real reason. So what you want to do is prime the pump whenever we start sucking it. So I'll get the rest of the fittings. We use quick connects and disconnects on all of our water fittings. So whenever we get to an RV site, typically we'll hook up to the shore side of it and then use these for the camper, which I'll show you in a second. We got our water hose that once we were done with it last time, I'll just put the ends together. Keeps all the dirt and grime out of them instead of rolling them up. And since we used it last time, there's still a little bit of water left in it from a day or two ago. And this is additional water that we can put into the camper. So that'd make a big difference, but anyway. Just like we would at the campsite, we'll come down here, hook it up. I'm going to change this valve to go from city water to fill. So we're filling the tank. Come over here and hook this up to the pump. And then we're going to hook this up to the bottom of the water bladder. We may lose a little bit of water here, but that's normal and okay. Alrighty, so we're sealed. We have the water bladder hooked up to the pump, which is hooked up to the camper. So to prime the pump, you can either turn it on or let gravity kind of do its job as well. So let it start dripping out. That means it pulled any of the air that was in this line out. And then the final thing to do is to plug it in. So again, we're running this off of the inverter, batteries, and solar only. So we're putting water in there. Probably take about 10 minutes on a full bag to be able to get it in there. And once it's done, we'll turn it off and be good to go. We can run it off the truck has an actual wall plug. I think it's 400 watts. We can run it off of that. We can run it off our generator, our Honda generator in the back, our Honda generator, or our Onan generator in the front. Well, right now we're running everything off of solar. So we have our GoPower solar panel here, charging our battery. So right here you have the extraction hose.
What time is it? Let's play that game.
All right, what time is it? I don't even know. I don't have my. It is I don't know. It's like 9 o'clock.
9. I'm guessing 9:15.
Yeah, probably 9:15. Anyway, so while this is. Alright. So while this is running, it's a little bit noisy. We typically go inside and just sit there for. Here, you're gonna.